All attendees to kindly complete their registration and be seated. Program will start as per the schedule, and our secretary sir will join us in some time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to join by the senior leadership of the ministry. May I request Shri Sanjay Lohia, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Mines, to kindly share their seat on the dais and grace the occasion with their presence. Thank you, sir. A warm welcome to all esteemed guests, industry leaders and stakeholders who have joined us today. On behalf of Ministry of Mines, I, Mohammad Atif Raza, Government from Ministry of Mines, welcomes you all in this workshop and roadshow on exploration license blocks. So we will start our program as per the schedule. This event marks a significant step forward in India's mineral exploration framework, creating new opportunities for investment and innovation in the sector. Today's discussion will provide a deep dive into the exploration license regime, the blocks on offer, and the auction process. We have with us an esteemed panel of experts from Ministry of Mines, Geological Survey of India, SBI CAP, MSTC, and National Mineral Exploration Trust, who will guide us through the details on these new initiatives. To formally commence today's proceeding and set the stage for this roadshow, may I now invite Shrimati Farida M. Naik, Joint Secretary and Designated Officer, Ministry of Mines, to deliver the welcome address and outline the objective of the exploration license framework. Please, ma'am.
Additional Secretary Mines, representatives from the state governments, industry representatives, all the stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you all. On the behalf of Ministry of Mines, I welcome you all to the first tranche of auction of exploration license block. This is indeed, I feel, is the defining moment for India's mineral future. So far, we have been auctioning already explored blocks in order to increase the mineral production. This new scheme of explorations license block has been introduced by Ministry of Mines. This is first time that Ministry is auctioning the exploration license block. In order to give you all an insight into the entire process, we have arranged for this roadshow, and during this 2 hours, we have lined up presentations on the policy aspect. We have with us the transaction advisor, SBI CAP, who will take you through the auction process, how it will go. We have with us MSTC, whose auction platform we are using. They will give you an insight into how the exploration bidding process will go. And it is actually very heartening to see the hall fill up with all you people showing your interest into the exploration blocks. And I wish and I hope that this interest is actually turned into a bidding process. So to take you through, we have all this. And in your kit, what you have got, there is a notebook. We have given in that the details of the blocks. Also, the contact numbers, which I feel is more important. Contact numbers from the office of the DO, the transaction advisor, the MSTC platform, which will help you in moment if you get stuck somewhere in between. So ladies and gentlemen, not taking much of your time, we would first start the presentations. Our secretary has got held up somewhere in between, so he would be joining us while we start the presentation, and when he will join, we will get his insights into the entire thing. So thank you and welcome you all once again, and I wish you all a very fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful address and for providing a clear vision on the exploration license regime and its role in the mineral development. Ladies and gentlemen, the exploration license regime is a transformative policy initiative that allows private participation in early stage mineral exploration. So, to provide a detailed understanding of the EL framework, its benefit and regulatory aspects, may I now invite Shri Mushtaq Ahmed, Director, Ministry of Mines, to deliver a presentation on the exploration license regimes and rules. Thank you.
Respected Additional Secretary, Sir, Sanjay Lohia, Sir, officers of the Ministry of Mines, State Government, Captains of Industries, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'll be giving you a brief presentation on the exploration license regime, where I will cover the legal aspect of it, I mean the provisions in the Act, the rules we have framed, thereafter, and what are the content of those, Act as well as the rules. So, as you are well aware that the prospectors were the one who would be doing a lot of, exploration and, unlocking the riches of the in the earth. So that is how the whole exploration regime has started. And in India, the Geological Survey of India has done a commendable job as far as exploration is concerned. That is how the entire country has been, to a certain extent, they have been able to, explore some part of it, and there are still, certain portion of the country which is yet to be unlocked. Now, MECL, state DMGs, notified public exploration agencies, notified public exploration, private exploration agencies are undertaking exploration as an agencies of the state government or central government or through the NMET funding. So you are all aware of this scheme. If you go to the OGP, around 2 lakh square kilometer of OGP is yet to be covered under the reconnaissance by the government agencies. So a lot of work is required. So how do we do it? That is how the whole idea of exploration license came into existence. Now, before 2023 amendment, which introduced exploration license, there was no provision for grant of mineral concession for undertaking full range of exploration, starting from reconnaissance to prospecting operations. World over, it has been noticed that the exploration of deep-seated mineral is done by junior mining companies who get exploration right over a large area. There was a lot of demand which was made by the industry association to bring similar concept in the Act. And National Mineral Exploration Policy of 2016 also envisaged, private agencies, engagement of private agencies in exploration on revenue share or in premium or royalty accruing to the state. After extensive consultation, it was decided to allow private exploration agencies to undertake exploration from the reconnaissance stage within the auction regime. Since India has already, as you're all aware that we are the few country in the world which has forayed into auction of natural resources. So within the framework of the auction regime, we have introduced exploration license. The MMDR Act was amended in 2023 to introduce exploration license. Now, what are the key features of the exploration license? The concession is granted through auction for undertaking reconnaissance and prospecting operation. These concessions is granted for 29 deep-seated and critical minerals listed in the 7th schedule to the Act. Some of the names of the minerals are listed on the screen. The maximum area of EL would be for 1,000 square kilometer. The maximum area a person can, for a particular mineral in a state, can acquire would be 5,000 square kilometer. Now, who would be, how this particular process will get initiated? There's a provision that any person can, who is interested in a particular block, can suggest the area to the central government. Earlier it was state government, now it is the central government, to auction for EL. The central government may initiate auction of block identified identified by GSI, DMG or any other agency of the central government. Now there is a concept of committee which these blocks which have been identified by a private person, individual, or these, GSI has given those blocks to the central government. Those blocks will be placed before a committee. Now, what EL holder is entitled to get upon auction of the exploration license block? The EL holder is entitled to receive revenue share only for the mineral listed in the 7th schedule to the Act. There are 29 minerals which are listed in the 7th schedule. For those minerals, you will get revenue share. What would be the period of EL? What are the norms of relinquishment? The period of EL is 5 years, which is extendable by 2 years. Now, EL holder is required to relinquish mandatorily 75% of area so that only 25% remains with the holder after 3 years. The whole idea is that those exploration license holder are serious enough, undertakes exploration operations, and relinquish some part of it and focus on areas where the possibilities of mineral is there. Now, there may be question that what happens upon exploration, upon completion of the exploration. The state government or the central government does not put those blocks for auction. Now, the Act provides for a provision which says that within a period of 6 months of completion of the submission of the exploration report, the state government or the central government has to put up that particular block for auction. And they have to complete the auction process and select the preferred bidder within a period of 1 year. So this is to actually obviate the risk. Tomorrow they may say that, you have explored the block and, the state government is not interested in putting that block. So we have made enabling rules to ensure that the risk of the exploration license holder is mitigated. Now, when the exploration license regime was introduced, it was the state government which was supposed to do the exploration, the auction of the exploration license. Now the responsibility has been taken over by the central government. That was primarily because that there was 34 blocks which were identified by the GSI, and NITs were issued for 14 blocks by different states. Because there was the auction was fragmented, there were 1 block notified by one state, 2 blocks notified by other states. The response was not good. The prospective bidders were not getting a complete picture of the blocks. And the last thing, the central government for critical mineral, out of these 29 minerals, 22 minerals pertains to critical mineral, where the auction was supposed to be undertaken by the central government. Keeping in view in the holistic view, central government using the power conferred under Section 20 in national interest for scientific and sustainable development and exploitation of mineral resources, decided that henceforth auction of EL will be conducted by central government. That is how we are sitting together here for the launch of the exploration license. Now, pursuant to the Act also empowers the central government to make rules. So we have made rules under Mineral Auction Amendment Rules, Mineral Conservation Amendment Rules 2024, and Mineral Conservation and Development Rules. Now we go to the Mineral Auction Rules. What are the prerequisites for auction of exploration license? Now, in case of composite license, in case of mining lease, there are certain exploration norms which are already, there in the rules. But in case of exploration, no minimum level of exploration norms are prescribed. Blocks may be identified based on available geological information which is available in the NGDR. Now, as I have already mentioned that blocks can be identified by the committee of the central government. Out of the block proposed by, there are two ways of proposing. One is GSI submits the block, DMGs or other government agencies submits the block, or private person who is interested in a particular block who submits that particular area to the central government will be placed before those committee, and then accordingly, if the committee feels that there is certain possibility of these 29 mineral blocks, those particular block will be put up for auction. Now, who are eligible? Now, there are two eligibility criteria. One is already provided in the Act, which says that Indian national or a company which is registered under the Companies Act will be eligible to participate in the exploration license. Now, the second criteria is the net worth criteria. Bidder should have a net worth of more than or equal to 25 crore, which is actually, if you see the composite license and mineral mining lease, the net worth criteria has been kept very low in case of exploration license. Bidder or his affiliates to submit only single bid in any auction. This is to rule out any cartelization between the bidders. Now, the committee, while the block is proposed by either this GSI, DMG, or the private individual who is interested in putting a particular block based on geoscience data available on NGDR. Now, the committee, what they will do is they will cull out the subsisting mining leases within that particular block. NITs that has been issued or in process will also be culled out. Subsisting letter of intent, exploration operation already going on by entity mentioned in section 4, reservation which has been granted to a public sector companies, expired, lapsed, terminated ML or CL. These will be culled out from the block since the block would be too big. So there will be certain possibility of overlapping that to rule out such possibility. Now, coming to the bidding parameters for EL. The bidder shall quote for the purpose of receiving payment from the state government a percentage share of the auction premium payable by the future leaseholder. Now, this, many of you, since were there in the past presentations also, would by now understand how this system will operate. The bidder quoting the minimum percentage shall be the preferred bidder. There is a concept of ceiling price to be fixed by this central government or the state government, which shall not be less than 25%. There is a ceiling limit. You cannot keep it like 2%, 3%. Minimum you have to keep it at 25%. You can go up. There is no problem with somebody going higher than the ceiling limit of 25%. Now, the bidding process would be reverse auction process. The bidding process will be similar, as that of ML and CL. The bid security, is very minimal, 50 lakh for area equal to or less than 500 square kilometer, and 1 crore for area above 500 square kilometer. As I've already mentioned that the process of grant of EL is very similar to CL and ML. Now, The time period which is given in case of CL and ML, similarly time period is also given for the EL. To execute the exploration license, there's a period of 1 year within which the exploration license is to be executed from the letter of intent, which is extendable by a further period of 6 months. EL holder to explore area up to G2 level as per the mineral evidence and mineral content rules. For carving out blocks for ML, you can carve out 1, 2, 3, as many blocks as possible within those area which is put up for auction. There is a performance security of 1 crore for an area or equal to or less than 500 square kilometer, and performance security of 2 crore for area above 500 square kilometer. Now, this will be appropriated for non-adherence of scheme of reconnaissance or prospecting, or if you are disclosing certain exploration data to unauthorized entity, or non-disclosure or serious discrepancy in exploration data report. If you are hiding certain information, then if this performance security can be appropriated. Now, I just wanted to show you a little pictorial diagram of how it operates. If you see the saffron block, the orange block is the total EL block. Now, during exploration, you may come across certain blocks where you have one particular mineral. In another area, there is another mineralization of another block. Then you have another. You can have 10 blocks also carved out in the same exploration block. Now, if the blocks are for minerals which is listed in the 7th schedule, then you will be entitled to auction premium, share in the auction premium for the mining lease. Now, the blue one, you have carved out a block which is blue one, maybe it is a mineral, say cobalt. Now, that cobalt mineral block is put up for auction, and it fetches a premium of 50%, say. In the auction of EL, you have put up an auction premium of 20%. You will be entitled to 20% of the 50% block which has been fetched by the ML block. So you will be entitled to all the blocks where you have mineral evidence for 29 minerals which is listed in the 7th schedule. Now, if there is another block which is not mentioned in the 29, so you will not be entitled to any revenue stream from that block. So I hope you, this pictorial representation would give some idea. Now, upon the auction of the mineral block, you may expect some kind of revenue to yourself. What would be the method of payment? The state will pay the EL holder out of the auction premium deposited by the ML holder within 30 days of the deposit. The share of EL holder is payable for 50 years or exhaustion of resources, whichever is earlier. So you have a revenue stream going, far beyond the mining lease, far, for a period of 50 years. The share is payable for each 7th schedule mineral, for all mineral blocks prepared as per the MEMC rules. So you can have n number of blocks within that particular block. Method of payment to the EL, holder of EL. The share is not payable for any other minerals which I have mentioned, or whose GR is not prepared as per the norms. EL holders shall also get a share in each installment of upfront payment deposited by ML holder. Now, you will understand that there is a timeline fixed for to the state government or the central government to undertake to initiate the auction after the submission of the report, which is 6 months. Within 6 months of the submission of the report, the central government or the state government has to put up that particular block for auction. And within 1 year, the state government or the central government has to select the preferred bidder. So that means thereafter there is a timeline fixed for issuance of letter of intent, for submission of upfront payment. So what I'm trying to say is that your revenue stream will start immediately within a period of 1 month, 1 year of the selection of the preferred bidder. So you don't have to wait till the production. So initial revenue stream will start right within a period of 1 year after the preferred bidder is selected. EL holder and the ML holder may also enter into an agreement for payment in any other manner like lump sum payment. So you can have some kind of negotiation with the ML holder, say that I am not interested in having a regular revenue stream for 50 years. I would like to have some kind of negotiation and have a deal with you and finalize a lump sum payment, and I get out of this arrangement. So that the law permits you to do that negotiation also. Now, you may also have this doubt in mind that what will happen if if the auction of mining lease pursuant to this non-adherence of timelines. What will happen? You may have some kind of a doubt. State government is not putting up those blocks. Central government is also not putting up those blocks for auction. Now the rules are already framed to ensure or mitigate the risk. In case of non-adherence of timeline, state government to pay EL holder a fixed sum till selection of preferred bidder or annulment of second attempt, that is 1% of the exploration expense or 10 lakh per month, whichever is higher. So you will be entitled to this amount of money in case the state government fails to do the auction. In case of termination, lapse or surrender of ML or letter of intent, the state government will give opportunity to the EL holder to take ML at the same premium. So you also have an opportunity to participate in the mining itself. Now, the EL holder is also allowed to participate in the auction of mining leases. You are not debarred. But then, what arrangement has been made? Now, the tender document shall also include raw data, borehole course, periodic reports, and ownership structure of the EL holder. So the other bidders will also know who was the EL holder, what kind of data is there, whether he is hiding some facts, because he is also participating in the auction. So to avoid any misgivings at later stage, so these data will be made available to other bidders. A bidder in ML auction shall also declare if he is related party of the EL holder. EL holder is allowed to bid for ML explored by him. However, in the second round of auction, name of the EL holder or his related party and his final price offer shall remain visible to all the qualified bidders. This is to provide level playing field for those who has undertaken the exploration and those who have not undertaken the exploration. Now coming to the other rule, which is the mineral concession and amendment rules. What are the provisions which we have? The MCR amendment which we have made for EL also provides provision for surrender of part of the entire area of EL. In case no exploration is proposed in any area under the scheme for reconnaissance or prospecting, the exploration license shall mandatorily surrender such area. It also provides procedure for extension of time period of EL, which is 5 years. So how you will actually apply for extension of time beyond 5 years. Submission of the EL report, where it will submit, to whom it will be submitted, within what time frame it is to be submitted. All of them are there in the MCR. What will happen, what are the norms for disclosure of information? If the EL holder fails to complete exploration before the expiry what will happen? Then he shall not be eligible for any share in the auction premium, and he will be debarred from participating in EL auction for 3 years, and state government may forfeit performance security. So there is a provision of extension of time. You are supposed to complete the exploration within the time frame. If you fail, then there are certain penal action also provided in the rules. Now coming to the other rules, which is the mineral conservation and development rules, there are few provisions. It provides for timelines for submission of scheme of reconnaissance and prospecting. The timeline is 90 days from the letter of intent. It also provides for mandatory submission of half-yearly report of operations for a period January to June will be submitted by 15th of August. For any operation which you have conducted for a period commencing from July to December will be submitted by 15th of February. EL holders shall not disclose any information, scheme, and report related to reconnaissance or prospecting operation to any other unauthorized person other than government or organization which is not mentioned in the rules. Other rules of MCDR as applicable on reconnaissance and prospecting shall be appropriately applicable in case of EL also. Now, what are the likely benefit of exploration license? It's a very new concept. It is going to create a new ecosystem for exploration in the country. You may avail certain subsidies on expenditure incurred on exploration. It is intended to develop a startup in exploration to bring in innovation and research. It will also bring in a lot of collaboration between mining companies and junior mining companies, public sector, all put together. Since it is based on it is going to create a new revenue stream to junior mining companies and exploration companies. This is the end of my presentation. If you have any query, you may ask. Thank you so much.
हेलो, माइक देने वाला है?
Mike.
Though it was given out that all details of core logs and all analysis and all will be a part of the document and of the exploration licensee. But is there any oversight mechanism during the exploration so as to, because the change is that EL holder is also permitted to take part in the auction. So during the actual exploration also, is there any oversight being planned by GSI or any other agency so as to ensure that the data is not selectively put up or something, because he may have a interest in not divulging some data based on that. So is there any system inbuilt in this process for oversight during the exploration?
Regular geological report are to be submitted, core data are to be submitted. That is how these core data will be placed, it will become part of at the time of ML auction. So, and then we have this monthly report which is to be submitted. So there is a lot of oversight on the exploration at the time of exploration, whether the scheme of, there will be scrutiny of the scheme of exploration or scheme. So based on which, how they are proceeding, Indian Bureau of Mines will keep a tab of the exploration, license holder, how they are actually going about. So a lot of information will be there.
Right. And as I understand, EL holder will be permitted only in the second round. Or can he take part in the first round itself?
The information will get divulged after second round.
Okay.
They will be part of it, but information will be divulged only in the second round.
No, it works like this. Basically, the first round is what we call as the initial price offer. Initial price offer, suppose there are 10 bidders in the auction of the mining lease. So everybody puts it in the system. Okay. Then half of them are selected. So top 5 are selected. And the top bid becomes the reserve price for the second round. So if the EL holder is one of the 5, so when the second round auction takes place, which basically after every 8 minutes you can raise it by whatever amount, that time if the bid has been put by the EL holder, his name will be displayed. So it's like there are 5 people in the auction of the mining lease, and I am an EL holder who is also there. So if other 4 people put in a bid, it will not tell us who has put, but if I have put the bid, it was Sanjay Lohia has put up. It depends on my credibility as an exploration agency, whether I am known to do good work or bad work. So if I unnecessarily jack up, people may not believe, I will be stuck with the block. And if I myself, I have a good credibility and I put where my exploration some bid, then people may believe in me. So that a lot depends on your credibility as an exploration agency.
Thank you, sir. No, I have mentioned to you that the Act provides that any Indian national or a company registered under the Companies Act will be eligible to participate.
No, Indian national में partnership allowed है. Its partnership is allowed. Whatever people are allowed to participate in mining lease auction and composite license auction are allowed here. Only thing is the net worth here is 25 crore rupees.
In fact, I could see some of the foreigners also, foreign companies also. FDI in mining sector is 100% through automated route, except for few minerals. So you can directly register yourself as a company, and and the registration of the company in India is very easy. You just have to go to the portal of the Corporate Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Within a period of days, you will be able to get yourself registered. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
But इसको ये माइक देने वाला नहीं है क्या?
Because it may take 4 or 5 years, then what happens to that period? Because once the revenue sharing will start only after execution of mining lease. Yeah, but law provides that only that penalty is, or whatever payment is to get, only for till the period that successful bidder is declared. Getting my point?
No, what happens is, if the state government doesn't auction within 1 year, you get monthly payment.
Right.
If they have auction and there is a successful bidder, then whatever portion of the upfront payment he makes a payment, you get your share. And then he does his preparatory work. Then you have to wait for 3-4 years
That's why
before
I'm-
actual production starts.
Yeah.
That-
So
that's
instead of
right.
50 years, maybe 55 years, then he has to wait.
No.
For the period.
No, yeah, that you can say that.
But then there is a provision
No, after the signing of mining lease, it is 50 years.
Yeah, after execution of mining lease.
So that 50-year period will start 2-3 years later.
A second question, sir, this is a reverse bidding. This is a descending way it will go. So is there any floor price also fixed?
No, there is no floor price fixed. There is an upper limit, ceiling price fixed.
No, ceiling price is there. So what happens, suppose now start from 40, as you mentioned, 40 is there. It comes to 0. I say I will not get anything. Then what happens in that case? Whether again it will go for forward bidding or some
No, no, if somebody wants to do free of cost, what can we do to him?
No, because of it has happened in coal. Once they, in 2015, 16, in case of coal, that provision was there. In fact,
No, this actually, you see, coal at that time, what happened was people were more than willing to just get hold of the block.
no, it's both unlikely has happened in case if it happens. Suppose now there are 3 companies for copper. They intend to go for, in any case, for mines. So if they can go for, then even negative bidding also can be there.
So for
No, if, see, I doubt somebody will do that, but
you should
that
participate.
is more high.
No,
Let
but
us see first round, let us complete this tranche of auction.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful presentation. The Ministry of Mines has launched the Tranche 1 of auction of
I think this presentation, at least I am not very sure, people who are exposed for the first time, how much they get from what is our purpose and what is the thing. I'll just tell in brief from a business perspective. First thing is, in India, we can't give away areas or blocks without auction. So within auction, we have tried to design a system by which we allow exploration companies, junior mining companies to come in. And today we have invited some of the, what we call as notified private exploration agencies, which are doing exploration works for us through NMET. So there in the, what you do from NMET is you get paid for your services. You don't get a share in the mineral you discover. But here, this is a chance in the exploration license. You get some share in mineral if you discover. Depends on your luck and depends on your expertise and smartness. So, what we are doing is basically we are saying we'll auction 200, 300 square kilometer area, maximum one block will be 1000 square kilometer area. So, the blocks which have been put here today are around each around 200, 300 square kilometer. Because earlier some state governments had tried, they put some 500-600 square kilometers, then the company said, how will we know what to do where? So they said, you please reduce the size of the block. So this we did. Now in that 200 square kilometer area, already lot of data is available on our National Geoscience Data Repository. Whatever data is available, you don't have to rediscover that unless you are not satisfied with that data. So using those coordinates, whatever baseline data is there, maybe some exploration reports are there, you can analyze those data. And then you take up exploration. So in our estimates, there will be a presentation from how much subsidy we will be given, reimbursement will be given. So our estimate is one block should not cost more than 40 crore rupees. 40 crore rupees would mean maybe say $5 million. This is our estimate. Out of which the government of India is willing to give reimbursement of 50% of the amount if you carry to the full extent. So up to 20 crore rupees will be given. We are willing to share the cost with you. And remaining is your risk. And what we expect is out of those 29 minerals, which we call them as deep-seated minerals, and some of them are not deep-seated, they are fertilizer minerals or some critical minerals. You discover those minerals, we put those blocks on auctions, and you get a revenue stream for next 50 years. If you don't want to wait for 50 years, you enter into an agreement with the company which has got the mining lease, and you can have a lump sum payment, and then that you get your money back. Alternatively, if you yourself take up the mining activity later on, then that revenue share will come back to you. You deposit your premium in the state government will again return back whatever is your share to you. So this is the thing, and Here I want to say that in our kind of system where we have to go through auction, unlike many other countries in the world where they generally allocate areas and people go and keep exploring, and then if you find something you start mining. Here this is the system. So this is a good opportunities for companies like public sector companies which till now have relied upon reservation of blocks. They can enter into this area. They spend some 5, 10, 20 crore rupees. If you are good enough, if you are lucky enough, you get a revenue stream for next whatever 50 years, or maybe you take it before. Similarly, it is for the small companies. Small companies which are just entered into this scenario, which may have a lot of intellectual capital, but maybe we have taken into exploration. You can also try your hand. And there are other mining companies, I will say, the established mining companies also, some of them have set up exploration companies also. You can also take part in it. The overall risk is somewhere between, if I may say, 5 to 20 crore rupees. And at the rates at which our National Mineral Exploration Trust scheduled rates are much higher than the market rates. So probably the liability is a little lesser than that. And this is an opportunity for all of you to get into this. One aspect which was not very clearly mentioned, basically we have a system by which we say there is a committee which will approve the blocks, and then these are put on auction. Apart from whatever auctions which the blocks will be somehow explained here, for future, suppose any of the companies is willing that I am not very happy with the blocks which have been put here, I will go through the NGDR data myself, identify the blocks, then you can request us that in next round you please, next tranche you bring this block on auction. So we'll do that. We have no harm, we'll bring it to auction. But yes, I cannot say that because you have brought the block, we will give you without auction or will give you some preferential treatment. That will not be there. It's just that if you have brought a block, proposed a block, maybe you'll have to believe in the block yourself. So that is what I will say. And here, this we are doing, how it works is, suppose you have quoted the 40% we have kept as the ceiling price. So when people bid, the person who quotes the lowest will win. Suppose somebody wins at 20%. And as Mustaq shown, one of the block, suppose they find copper, the mining starts in that block. Once the mining starts in that block, then, and somebody has quoted say 15% share in the copper block. So you get 20% of that 15%. 20% of that 15% will be say 3%. So your revenue stream becomes whatever production takes place from that block, you take 3% from that. Similarly, we have had some gold blocks which have gone up to I think 15-20% also. So if you discover gold, then, and if you have quoted 20%, so 20% of 15% is 3%. So that becomes your share. So, and as far as this, one more aspect which is not highlighted here, after the EL has been signed in your name, at any point of time, you can transfer this EL to somebody else, exploration license to somebody else. But the next person will have to follow the same rules and regulations. He will only get that much share which was initially approved in the auction. So there is an easy transfer of exploration license. LOI you cannot transfer. Once you submit the LOI, you have to submit a scheme of exploration. And I understand in these kind of, I would say, when bigger area, you can't go very deep in submitting the scheme of exploration. Maybe first or second stage you submit, you start exploration work, and if you, in the meantime, you want to sell the license to somebody, it's your choice. You can sell. And one more thing we have, which I want to highlight here is, you can surrender, after 3 years, you have to surrender 75% of the area. So within 3 years, you should be smart enough and you should have done enough work to identify potential area which will not be more than 25% of the area which has been put on auction. So we free up the rest of the area. If you want to surrender more area, you are most welcome to do. In fact, we have kept a provision. If somebody wants to surrender the full area, then we also allow that to surrender to take place without penalizing the company or the party. So we have tried to say that we want to encourage people to come in. When you are coming in and you are putting your money and effort, if at any point of time you want to surrender, we would not penalize you for surrendering early. So these are certain, I think, additional points I thought I'll mention for you. Thank you. And
Thank you, sir. The Ministry of Mines has launched Tranche 1 of auction of exploration license blocks, in which 13 blocks have been put up for the auction, and these blocks have been identified on the basis of the preliminary geological data of GSI. So I would like to invite Dr. S.R. Bashir, Deputy Director General, Geological Survey of India, to share his presentation.
Thank you, Atif. Respected Additional Secretary, Mr. Mines, on the dais, and the dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen, a very good noon to all of you. I'm going to present the exploration license blocks recently launched for auction under Tranche 1. The exploration license blocks are carved out based on available geoscience data as well as the information gathered from previously explored area adjacent to these blocks. There are 13 exploration license blocks from 10 states encompassing 8 minerals. Out of these 13 exploration blocks, 2 exploration blocks, each from states of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Maharashtra. 1 exploration block each from Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh. Now I am going to take the individual blocks one by one. The first block is the Ontilu Chandagiri block from Tirupati and Chittoor districts of Andhra Pradesh. The mineral commodity is rare earth elements. The block area is almost 210 square kilometer. The potentiality of the block has been assessed based on geological mapping, the previously explored area, and the National Geochemical Mapping Program. As per Prime Minister Gati Shakti portal, the area is free from wildlife sanctuary, national park, or any eco-sensitive zone. The area here has been demarcated by red color, and the EL block area is represented by Meso to New Archean Proterozoic rocks, or PGC2. The main host rocks here are pegmatites and the younger intrusives of granites. As you see, there are already 4 explored areas by G4 investigations and 2 STM areas. All these blocks investigated by GSI, which shows the RE concentration from the bedrock samples ranges from 700 to 2700 ppm. The GSI has carried out also the NGCM activities in this particular block also. The geochemical studies indicate higher concentrations of total RE in the range of 1000 to 4500 ppm. You see this block has been carved out based on the available information in engineer portal. Coming to the next block, there is the Sergaon block from West Kamang district of Arunachal Pradesh. The commodity is lead zinc. The total area of the block is around 210 square kilometer. The potentiality of the block has been assessed by geological mapping. The previously exploration carried out by GSI in this particular area. As per PMGS portal, the area is free from wildlife sanctuary, national park, eco-sensitive zone, or any archaeological site. The block actually lies within the Lesser Himalayas sequence of Arunachal Pradesh, bounded by major tectonic features. There is the MBT, main boundary thrust, to the south, and the MCT to the north. The rocks of the EL blocks are represented by gneiss, garnetiferous biotite schist, chlorite schist, dolomite, and quartzite of Bomdila group. Whereas previous exploration has been carried out in in and around the Sergaon area, the exploration activities have suggested that there is a lead values goes up to 1.12% and zinc up to 0.79%. A promising mineralized zone has also been identified with a strike length of 150 meter and a width of 3 to 12 meter, having lead and zinc values 1% and 10% respectively. One subsurface investigation has also been carried out in Basudha Amitganga blocks. That block is west of this present block area, which gives rise to lead values of 0.75% to 5% over a thickness of 13.45 meter at shallow depth. Coming to the next block, that is the North Kondagaon block from Kondagaon district of Chhattisgarh. The mineral commodity is diamond. The block area is about 230 square kilometer. The potentiality of the block has been identified based on the geological mapping, previous exploration data, and the data from National Aerogeophysical Mapping Program. As per PMGS, the area is free from wildlife sanctuary, national park, eco-sensitive zone, or archaeological site. The EL block lies in the Bastar Craton of central India. It is primarily composed of gneisses and granitoids, along with supracrustals of Dongargarh volcanics, Sakoli groups, Sukma, Begpal gneiss, and Baladila iron ore formation. The older crystalline rocks included by multiple mafic dike swarms hold potential for chemolytic intrusions. We have four sets of lineaments in the demarcated area. Some of these are cross-cutting to each other. That suggest the favorable locales for the chemolite clan of rocks for emplacement. In the right side, we have process aeromagnetic anomaly data, which shows that there are 3 circular anomalies in the block, which may indicate possible existence of Kimmerid clan of rocks in subsurface. Next is the block is Sorgaon-Garanga block of Bastar district from Chhattisgarh. The commodity is same, that is the diamond. The area is almost 230 square kilometer. The potentiality again has been assessed by geological mapping, data from NAGMP project, and previously explored areas. Here also we have identified, no, sorry. Yeah, the area forms a part of transition zones between the basement crystallines and the younger Indravati group of rocks. The EL block is mainly represented by younger sedimentary rocks of Indravati group. At places, there are some laterite cappings also developed. The EL block is very close proximity to the Tocopal kimberlite field, which is established kimberlite field. In this block also, there are 4 sets of lineaments. Some are cross-cutting, and also we have identified that 3 circular lineaments on the basis of aerophysical data. There are previous exploration reports which suggest that there are indicator minerals of this area. They are reported G5 garnet, which contain MgO percentage up to 12%, which is commonly linked to kimberlitic and mantle-derived rocks. Next block is Devi Galal Jetpur block from Gujarat. The district is Rajkot, Junagadh, and Amreli. The main commodity is the vanadium and associated mineralizations. Total block area is about 190 square kilometer. The potentiality of the block has been identified through the National Geochemical Database. As per PMGS portal, the area is free from wildlife sanctuary, national park, eco-sensitive zone, and archaeological site. The EL block is occupied by basaltic rocks of Deccan troughs with lava flows included by igneous massive rock comprising of cyanide and basic dikes. Out of 162 composite samples collected from the area, 140 samples show vanadium values 151 to 277 ppm. This vanadium enrichment has been identified in laterite cappings developed over these basic rocks. Here I maybe mention one thing, that GSI has carried out one RP project, that's a research project in the same geological trend, that is the basaltic rock, over which the laterite has been developed in Sindhudurg, Ratnagiri districts of Maharashtra. And it has yielded a vanadium of the order of more than 1000 ppm in the laterite as well as the aluminous laterite zone. Coming to the next one, there is the Chatakpur Bagu block from Jharkhand. The area of the block is around 200 square kilometer. The potentiality of the block has been identified on the basis of the geological mapping, the previous exploration data, as well as the National Geochemical Mapping Program. The area is also free from wildlife sanctuary, national park, eco-sensitive zone for wildlife. The EL block is represented by the rocks of Chotnagpur Gneiss complex and the rocks of North Singhbhum mobile belt. The Chotnagpur Gneiss complex is heterogeneous assemblages of different sorts of varieties of granites and gneisses. And the Singhbhum group is composed of semi-paletic assemblages indicating mica schist, quartzites, and intrusive basic rocks. The one interesting feature is that these two terrain are abutted along a crustal scale ductile shear zones called North Purulia shear zones, which may be possible locals for the gold mineralization in this particular area. We have previous exploration from such areas. In this, the map showing EL block and the gold occurrences in and around the EL block. The noteworthy is the Tegaria and the Kevra area, from where the gold mineralization has been identified of the order of 1.2 ppm in the quartz vein. There are some areas like Roro, Dinatali, Ghagrari, Champada, etc., which is having gold concentration quartz vein 250 to 600 ppb. There is a project GSA has carried out in FS 2020-23, the STM project, in just northwestern part of the EL block area, which reported a gold value of the order of 360 ppb. Apart from that, NGCM has also been carried out in these particular areas, which suggests that there are many composite samples which are having RE values in the range of more than 500 ppm. Next is Taramba Dalbhanga block of Jharkhand area. The mineral commodity is gold and copper. The block area is about 200 square kilometer. And the potentiality has also been identified on the basis of NGCM, geological mapping, and previous exploration of the area. The geology is presented by Singhbhum and Dalbang group of rocks. The Singhbhum group of rocks, mainly hornblende schist, mica schist, quartzite, and chatty quartzite, whereas Dalbang group of rock represented by volcano-sedimentary sequence. The area is structurally very complex and undergone polyphase deformation as well. There are exploration work carried out in this particular area, especially the Taramba area, where we have the gold values in the quartz vein of the order of 12.22 ppm. Anomalous copper values of the order of 0.19% has also been reported from this block. There are few exploration works has also been carried out which shows that every rock types of the area is having the gold presence. Noteworthy is the Kupsal Jago area, that is the northeastern part of this block area, where highest gold recorded value is 3.67 ppm in the stream sediments which drained in the acid volcanic rock. Here I may mention one thing, that in this particular area, in the northeastern part, there is a block called Parsi Gold Prospect. Parsi gold prospect is adjacent to this block area, which has been allotted to private companies, Rungta Mines Limited, for mining of gold commodity. Next is Devdurga block from Raichur and Yadgiri districts of Karnataka. The mineral commodity is gold and copper. The total area is about 200 square kilometer area. The potentiality of the block is mainly based on the geological mapping and previous explorations. There is also free from any wildlife sanctuary, national park, eco-sensitive zone, or archaeological site. The Devdurga block is composed primarily of granitoid rocks with metavolcanics of PGC. In recent past, these granitoids explored by GSI for hydrothermal breccia-hosted gold-copper mineralizations surrounding these EL block areas. Several prospects, if you go through that northwestern part, that Hebel Wajal gold copper prospect, Hunasohuli copper prospect, Yajanti copper prospect, and Macharur copper and gold prospect has been explored by GSI. Let me inform to this house that out of these prospects, the Hunasohuli gold prospect has been handed over to the state government for CL, and the Machanur blocks has been handed over for copper and gold mineralizations as ML blocks. There are gold presence in the area through NGCM as well. Next is Padhar block of Betul district from MP. The mineral commodity is PG and associated minerals. Total block area is about 200 square kilometer area. Potentiality of the block has been assessed by geological mapping and the previous explorations. The Padhar block is a part of Padhar mafic ultramafic complex located in the western and northwestern part of the Betul belt. Here, the mapping suggests that mafic rocks dominate the exposure, while ultramafic rocks are concentrated in the central and southern part. The mafic rock includes the variety of gabbro and diorite, whereas ultramafic rocks are Harzbargite and westerite and pyroxenite bodies. Mineralization mainly confined to the ultramafic rocks. There are previous exploration carried out by GSI, which suggest the nickel values up to 0.4% and chromium up to the order of 1700 ppm. Geomysore has also carried out some work in this particular area. They have identified or delineated some mineralized zone. Their results suggest 0.5% nickel, 0.11% copper, and 0.37 ppm PGE from Dhapa area. The channel samples from another area, from Bacha Barata area, from the same block area, the PGE values ranges from 0.14 to 0.46 gram per ton, that is ppm, whereas rock chip samples from the same area, the PGE values ranges from 0.28 to 0.9%. The next is Kondalwadi block from Nanded district, Maharashtra. The block is for tantalum. The total area is around 200 square kilometer. The potentiality of the block has been assessed through National Geographical mapping and the previous exploration data. The block area is occupied by multiple phases of granitoid, which can be broadly classified into older granitoids of PGC and the younger Deccan basalt of Sahyadri group of rocks. These granitoids are extensively traversed by pegmatites and quartz veins. The previous exploration data suggests the tantalum mineralizations of the order of 110 to 130 ppm in granite and pegmatites. The next block is Jinjgaon block from Gadchiroli district, Maharashtra. Mineral commodity is lead zinc. Total area is around 200 square kilometer. The EL block is explored and represented by Bengpal gneiss and Dongarkar granite. These rocks are later included by younger granites, pegmatites, and quartz veins. The previous exploration identified a shared quartz vein over Jinjgaon area and a mineralization zone of the order of 900 meter strike length and 2 meter average width has given contents of galena, chalcopyrite, pyrite, and malachite stains. There are a number of quartz veins included within the Bengpal group that host potentiality for base metal mineralizations. Base metal mineralizations are also reported from many places from the northern part of the area. The lead value ranges from 2% and the zinc up to 1.5%. Next is Nawatala Devigarh block from Barmer and Jodhpur districts, Rajasthan. The commodity is RE and associated mineralization. Total block area is around 207 square kilometer. The potentiality of the block has been assessed by the data of NAGMP and the previous explorations. The area, the EL area, lies in the western part of Rajasthan, and most of the part are covered by aeolian and fluvial sands of third desert of quaternaries. The EL block is close to Siwana ring complex, known for its RE mineralization. Based on RMT projects and the NAGMP data, the underlying lithology may be inferred as volcanic rocks of Malan igneous shoot. Some groundwater samples has also been collected during the course of RMT investigation, which gives rise to copper values up to 551 ppb, magnesium of 370 ppb. The NAGMP data suggest that we are having the prominent aeromagnetic lineament in the northwest as well as the north-south directions, similar to that of Siwana ring complex. Here I may be pointed out that on the basis of the RMT project, one investigation has been taken up by GSI for FS 2025-26, just 10 kilometers east of this present EL block. The area is Tena Shergor for RE mineralizations. And for the information of the August House, that one G3 investigation of RE, the report has been handed over for CL for RE. The area is just 40 kilometers northwest of the EL block area. The next is, or the last one is Harpalpur Mahavakant block area from Jhansi and Mohaba districts of Uttar Pradesh. The mineral commodity is zirconium. Total block area is 216 square kilometer. The potentiality has been assessed through National Geochemical Mapping Program and NGMP data. The area is free from any wildlife sanctuary, national park, eco-sensitive zone, or archaeological site. The geology of the area actually, the block is part of Bundelkhand Gneiss complex comprising granites, granodiorites, and granitic gneiss with scattered outposts of quartz, biotite schist, quartzites, and amphibolites. The younger intrusions include quartz reefs, pegmatite veins, dolerite, and mafic dikes. The NGCM data shows zirconium values between 229 to 1125 ppm, with higher concentration near Lachurghat, Kohina, Naipur, and Pipri, which are falling on the proposed EL blocks. The NGMP data indicates high uranium values of Mahavakant as well as the Lachurghat area, which also suggests the zirconium mineralizations in this particular area. The high zirconium values concentration above 771 ppm is observed near Lachurghat Kohina, that is the Dashan River Basin, as well as the Naipur, that is the Keolari River Basin area. And since the drainage is in the northeasterly directions, to target the host rock, the block is in the upstream. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you, sir.
If anybody has any question or any clarification.
Hello, hello. Hello, can you hear me? I can't hear myself. Hello. Bhai, yeah? Okay, I thought you had a question. No, if no one has questions, then I have questions.
Sure.
आपका नाम क्या है?
Dr. Bashir.
Dr. Bashir.
Sir.
You are from GSI.
GSS.
And who is the nodal officer from GSI for this EL blocks?
Enemies too, sir.
Huh?
That is the Ganvir, sir.
Ganvir. Where is Ganvir?
Sir, he is at a workshop at Shillong, sir.
Acha. So, if any of these people have doubts after you leave, after this program,
Okay, sir.
who will they contact?
They may contact any enemies to office or
फिर
me
एनएमएस
also.
बोलता है भाई you display
Yeah.
Ganvir or your name and mobile number on the screen.
Sure, sir.
Whoever is on the laptop, you
Sure.
type and show it on the screen after I put the mic down.
Sure, sir.
Number one, so that you are available for questions from any of the prospective bidders and companies who are interested. You should be able to clarify. For
Definitely.
example, you have given so much of information in your presentation that I have more doubts now before I saw this approval of 13 blocks. Now, first thing is that in every block you said that you have some geochemical analysis you have done, you have some mapping that you have done, you have some GM report that you have prepared.
Yes, sir.
So, is all that available at one place? Suppose I am interested in that Betul block
Yes, sir.
that you presented. And you have said that in Betul you have done some GCM, some geophysical and all that. I want to see all that before I bid. Okay?
Yes,
So is that information available at one place with one person?
No, sir. Actually, it is in the AGDR portal. All the reports are in the AGDR portal only.
No, NGDR portal, I don't know how to access NGDR portal and take out all the data. Why don't you facilitate?
All right, sir.
You take money now. Who is that bidding? Who is in charge by that bidding process where we upload the document and you go online and pay some 1 lakh rupees to get some document? Is SBI in charge of that? Is SBI in charge? No. My question is SBI in charge of providing that data through some payment of fee on the online portal? Okay, now can we, whatever he has said, that near Betul, this information is available, this report is available, can we club all that and provide at one place?
Sir, currently we have bifurcated information in two places. One is the free information.
Mike,
So currently, sir, we have bifurcated the information into two folders. One is free, which is in public domain. That is like a snippet, giving very
that is
brief,
already available.
on the MSTC website, accessible without paying even a single rupee. Then the details are available behind the paywall. So anybody who has
Now,
read,
what is behind the paywall, I don't know. Probably he's also not clear. He's saying go to NGDR portal. What I'm saying is, while presenting, he has said that there is some geochemical analysis report available for Betul, some geophysical report available. Then he said that north of Betul, some private company has done some exploration for us and given some report. Whatever he has said, that the data is available, should be available in one place than these people running around some NGDR portal and GSI Nagpur and this and that. Can you organize that?
yes, sir.
In the meantime, what he is saying is that if anyone is interested in knowing about any basic geological data of that area, without waiting for that payment and that paywall and that bidding document, you can go to the NGDR portal, which is an open public portal where all our geological data is uploaded and you can see that. So what is not available in that NGDR portal, which is very specific to that area and some funded report and all that, will be available on some payment through the
MSTC portal,
through
sir.
the MSCC portal, correct? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So is there any other question from anyone? Yeah.
Sure, sir. Sir, actually, we have taken the preliminary information from the PMGS portal and take for granted that it is authentic because it's a government portal. And we consulted the respective DMGs, state governments. Is there anything to be?
When did you consult the DMGs?
Sir, there is meeting, several
No.
meetings.
What I'm saying
Yes,
is,
sir.
eco-sensitive zone notification keeps happening, every 6 months
Right, sir.
from the forest department.
Right, sir.
So if you prepared a particular data sheet, let us say 6 months back or 1 year back, it is possible that some area is notified as eco-sensitive zone by forest department 2 months back.
Yes, sir.
So what you should say is that our information for each block is as on so and so date.
Okay, sir. Right.
After that, you will have to cross-check with the local state government,
Yes, sir.
or you can go to Gati Shakti portal and you can cross-check.
Right, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your comprehensive overview of the blocks on offer. I welcome Secretary, sir, for joining us and to grace the event. So now we have an understanding about the exploration license framework and the blocks available. So let's move on the auction process. To explain the auction methodology, eligibility criteria and tender document structure, may I now invite Shri Lavesh Singla, Vice President SBI CAP, to presentation on mineral auction process.
This and the details of the same. So, next slide, please. Next slide. So, if we see that till 2015, when the auction regime was launched in India, two kind of mineral concessions were launched: composite license and mining lease. In composite license, the obligation of the lessee were to explore the block, establish the presence of mineral, and then carry out the mining. In the second concession, which was the mining lease, the exploration part was already done by the state agency or the central agency like GSI, And the obligation of the lessee was to come and start with the mining process. So you would see that mining is a salient feature in both these concessions. So that is why in 23, a new concession was brought, which is called as the exploration license, in which mining is not an obligation of the lessee, and the lessee has only to conduct the exploration obligations up to the G2 level. Thereafter, if the lessee is interested in the mining operations also, they can participate in the mining lease auction as and when that takes place, subject to certain conditions. Next slide, please. We can skip to the next slide because Mushtaq ji has covered this part. Next. So, first of all, the eligibility criteria. The eligibility is very simple when it comes to exploration license. There are three aspects which you should be mindful of. First of all is the Section 5 of the MMDR Act. So, Section 5 talks about the nationality. The Act permits individuals, companies, or association of individuals. Can you click on the link, please? So, as per the Act, if an individual is participating, that person should be an Indian national. If a company is participating in the auction process, then that company should be registered under the Indian Companies Act. In case there's a foreign entity which wants to participate in this auction process, but they do not have any Indian entity registered as of now, then using the Ministry of Corporate Affairs website, you can register yourself and open a company under the Indian Companies Act, which is a very simple and a very transparent process. And within a couple of days, your company would be registered, which would be your vehicle to participate in the auction process. Just a second, they're populating the presentation. So, first of all, there's Section 5 of the MMDR Act, which is the eligibility per the nationality part. Second part is the net worth. What is the net worth of the entity which is participating in this auction process? So, in the presentation, we have mentioned the numbers both in United States dollar, because we have a lot of foreign participation today, in Indian rupees as well. So, the number in Indian rupees is 25 crore rupees, which is almost equal to 3 million USD. So, the entity which is participating, whether it is a company or an individual or a partnership firm, your net worth should be 3 million USD to participate in any of the block. So, we have put up 13 blocks in this auction. So, 25 CR is sufficient if you want to participate in 1, 2, or even all 13 of them, right? So, when it comes to company, the net worth would be computed using your latest balance sheet of the previous financial year. And from your balance sheet, the sum total of your paid up capital and free reserves, only these two line items will be considered to compute the net worth of a company. When it comes to an individual, there are certain parameters which are movable assets and immovable assets which are permitted to be part of your net worth. So, when it comes to the movable assets, your bank balance, your fixed deposits, your mutual fund holdings, your LIC holdings, etc. would be computed towards your net worth. And when it comes to immovable assets, any land holdings or house or any shops that you may have, which are to be valued at the circle rate and should be unencumbered, would be constituting your net worth. In the ML and CL auctions, we have seen a lot of partnership firms also participating in the auction process. So, if a partnership firm participates, then the partner's capital account shall be used to consider the net worth of the partnership firm. Next slide, please. The second criteria was net worth, and the last thing is the Section 6 of the MMDR Act, which talks about the maximum area which an entity can hold in a given state. So, you would see that 5,000 square kilometer is the maximum area a single entity can hold in a given state. But since we have just started with this regime, as of now, none of you is in a situation to breach this limit. So, this is something which all of you qualify already with. So one thing one should also take care is that only you should participate in a given process, not your affiliate. So if in a mineral block, you and your affiliate both are participating, then your participation is liable to be cancelled. However, you can participate in multiple blocks. If you want to participate in all 13 of them, that is permissible. Next slide, please. So a lot of you have participated in ML and CL auction processes. That was a forward ascending process. Now this is the reverse of that. Here we have reverse descending process. In MLCL, the concession was given to the entity who will give the maximum revenue share to government. So that is why it was a forward ascending. Here, the concession will be given to the entity who will take minimum from the government. So that is why it is a reverse descending process. The information is of two kinds. One is free information, the other is
Keep this on full time, okay? Don't switch it off. Now, on the company's participation,
yeah.
is a joint venture possible? 2-3 companies can come together and bid?
So it has to be an incorporated JV in the form of company, but the thing would be that we refer to your net worth of the preceding financial year. So after the NIT, somebody decides that, okay, let's form a JV and form a company, then the preceding year, which is already lapsed, there would not be a joint balance sheet of such a company. So that would not be permissible, sir.
And what about consortium?
So consortium, sir, since a single legal entity can participate, if a consortium of 2 different companies come, the 2 different companies would have 2 different identities. They would have different PANs, different GST certificates. So a consortium is not permitted. It has to be a single entity with single identity. So consortia is something, suppose I've won the block and somebody else want to participate with me, they can acquire the shares in my company.
Suppose I want to onboard, I'm an Indian company and I want to participate along with a foreign company because the foreign company has a lot of technology. So how can I do that?
So that one thing is, sir, that I am the Indian company registered under the Indian Companies Act. I can sell shares in my company to the foreign entity in lieu of some consideration. So now the foreign entity is all a part of that company, and that company is registered as Indian Companies Act. It also has a balance sheet. So using that vehicle, you can participate in the auction process.
Or without doing all this share business, I can use a foreign company as my contractor or as my technical assistant. Can do that.
We can do that, sir. So people also use the services like MDO when it comes to mining. Here in the exploration, I can use the expertise or the experience of the foreign partner in lieu of some kind of a financial consideration.
Okay.
Yeah.
सब्सिडी में क्या करेंगे? पेरेंट का नेटवर्क लेंगे?
So when it comes to the net worth, sir, in case a company is willing to participate, but it has not the net worth of, let's say, 25 crore rupees. So in that case, it can use the net worth of the parent company, but the relationship between parent and the subsidiary has to be established by providing a shareholding certificate. And this relation has to be in place till the time the bidding entity does not reach 25 crore on its own.
No, basically a foreign company, they can set up a small company here and you will consider the net worth of the
No,
parent.
sir, that parent company, let me clarify, also has to be an Indian entity. So both subsidiary, which is the participating entity, and the holdco, which is at the top, both have to be Indian entities to avail that benefit.
No, that means if I am a junior miner in Canada and I have a lot of exploration technology and I want to participate in this EL block, then if I come to India and set up a 100% subsidiary, I'm not eligible.
You have set up a 100% subsidiary. If the net worth of that 100% subsidiary is 25 CR or more,
Then I'm eligible.
then you're eligible. If it is less than 25 CR, then you're not eligible.
Okay.
Yeah. So the information which is available is of two kinds. One is the free information, the other is the paid information. Free information is available on the MSTC website. You can access that information without paying a single rupee. The information would be mineral block summary. Now, as the name suggests, this mineral block summary is one document per block. So since we have 13 blocks, there will be 13 PDF files, one for each block. And we have the blank tender document, which is a common document for all the 13 blocks. After perusing these documents, the free documents, suppose you feel that you're interested in 8 of the blocks. Then, if you're registered already on the MSTC website, you can simply go and purchase the tender documents for each of these 8 blocks. Otherwise, if you're not registered, you have to register yourself. That is a one-time process to register yourself on the MSTC website and then purchase the tender documents. Once you pay the tender document fee, the documents which are behind the paywall, which is block-specific tender document, and the project proposal would be available to you. Next slide, please. So now we know that who is eligible to participate. Now we want to know that what is the bidding parameter. Bidding parameter is in a percentage terms, and bidding parameter in our tender document, all these 13 documents, we have quoted as 40%. So what we are trying to say is you have to quote a percentage of revenue share which is less than 40, and the person who quotes the lowest at the end of 2-stage process will end up winning the block, as called as the preferred bidder. Now what this percentage represent, I'll cover it on the next slide. So like I said, it's a 2-stage descending process. In this, in the stage 1, you have to submit a technical bid and you have to submit the price bid. So technical bid comprises of certain documents like the bid letter, bid security, power of attorney, etc. The formats for which are available in the tender document. Now this technical bid has to be submitted both in offline as well as online mode on the website of MSTC. However, the price bid, which is called the IPO, it has to be submitted only in online mode. You do not have to take the printouts of your price bid and submit in your sealed envelope. If anybody declares by writing or by taking a printout of their IPO, their participation may be jeopardized and their bid can be rejected. So, first of all, the technical bid submission takes place along with your price bid. Now, for a process to consummate, we need at least 3 technically qualified bidders for the process to move to round 2. In case we have 0, 1 or 2 technically qualified bidders, the process will annul there and then. In case we have 3 or more than 3 technically qualified bidders, the process will proceed to round 2. But to see that who will go to round 2, we will open the price bid of the technically qualified bidders and arrange it in a descending order. Now the people who have quoted, the top 50% or 5, whichever is lower, shall proceed to round 2. So in case I have 5 technically qualified bidder, so all 5 will proceed to round 2. However, if I have 11 technically qualified bidder, half of 11 is 5.5, so rounded up to the next integer, top 6 people will move to round 2 and the bottom 5 will be left out. So that is why it is important that you quote a suitable IPO at the time of stage 1. So now people who have moved to stage 2 will participate in round 2 of the auction. I'll just take a small example here. Just to clarify, these examples are for illustration purpose only. The numbers here are only to familiarize you with the process, and please, it is not a hint or any bias that this is what you should quote. This is only for illustration. So in our tender, the ceiling price has been quoted as 40%. In the stage 1, we are taking example that there are 5 technically qualified bidders and they have quoted a number ranging from 39.5 up to 30%. Now 30 being the lowest number is going to become the floor price for round 2. In round 2, the auction again starts from 30% and starts coming down. And we are taking in this example, the people who quoted 20% was the last bid. Nobody quoted a lower number below that. So person who quoted 20% will win the auction process block and will be called as a preferred bidder for that particular block. So now what this 20% represents in terms of money. So let us take an example that the block which was given to you for exploration, you have completed the job, and I have in this example taken that you were able to carve out 2 different blocks out of this large EL block. Now in block 1, there were 3 minerals, M1, M2 and M3. M1, M2 are from the family of 7th schedule of 29 minerals, and M3 is outside that family. So when I talk about the million USD numbers, the VER, which is value of estimated resources of mineral 1 and mineral 2, is $100 and $50 million respectively. And VER mineral 3 is 30 million USD. Now, even though the combined VR of block 1 is 180 million USD, but for revenue share, we will consider only mineral 1 and 2 because they are within the 7th schedule of 29 minerals. So you will be getting a revenue out of 150 million USD, which is the VR of mineral 1 block and 2. So when this block 1 is put up for auction in ML, we are taking an example that this block was won by quoting a percentage of 60%. Now, 150 millions, 60% represents 90 million USD. Now, this is the payment to be made by the ML lessee to the state government. Now, out of this 90 million USD, state government, now please remember that you quoted 20% to win the block for EL. So that is where we multiply the 90 million USD payment of auction premium made by the ML lessee to the state government, and out of which 20%, which is 18 million, is what you will get from block 1. And in block 2, we have taken example where we are saying that 70% was quoted to win that block. So you are getting money from the second block as well, and your combined earning is a total of block 1 and block 2. So in case the blocks are more, there is block 3 and block 4 also, your income will increase manifold. Next slide. So the payments to participate in this auction process, there are certain one-time payments. First of all is the tender document fee. Now this is rupees 1 lakh, or in terms of dollars, it is $1,100 plus GST per block. So in case you are participating in 5 blocks, you have to pay this 1 lakh 5 times. So total of 5 lakh plus GST is to be payable by you to participate in 5 blocks. Second is the bid security. Let me declare the tender document fee is non-refundable. Whether you win the block or you do not win the block, this money will not be returned back to you. Second is the bid security. Now bid security is in the form of a bank guarantee, the quantum being 50 lakh rupees or 58,000 USD in case the area of block is less than 500 square kilometer. If it's a larger block with area from 500 to 1000 square kilometer, the bid security quantum becomes rupees 1 crore or 116,000 USD. Bid security is to be submitted by each bidder for participating in the process, but this is refundable in nature, subject to the fact that you comply with the terms and conditions of the auction process. Third is the performance security. Now, performance security is to be paid by only the winner, right? And the quantum of this, again, it is refundable in nature. It is in the form of a bank guarantee. And the quantum being 1 crore rupees if it's a small block of less than 500 square kilometer. And if it's a large block, it would be 2 crore rupees. Next slide, please. So this is the timeline of the execution of exploration process. When you win the block by quoting 20%, the central government will declare you as the preferred bidder. Once you have been declared as a preferred bidder, within 15 days, you have to submit your performance security to the designated officer. Once you have done that, you will be issued the LOI. And then you have got the LOI in hand, and after getting the LOI, now you have to get all the approvals and clearances pertaining to the block, for which you will have 12 months to get the all approvals and clearances. Once you have done that, the lease deed of EL will be executed, and thereafter you will commence the exploration obligations on the ground. Next slide. So, like Mushtaq ji already mentioned, the validity of EL is 5 years. That is, you will get 5 years to complete the exploration obligation up to G2 level. In case the delay was beyond the control of the exploration agency, you can get another 2 years to complete the exploration obligation. So, as an output of your exploration obligation, you have to submit GR, geological report, conforming to G2 standards for exploration. Now, there are a lot of exit options. We the government of India appreciates the fact that every investor has a different investment horizon. Someone would want to be in the entire value chain of 50, 55 years, and someone would want to exit at a initial stage. So there are multiple exit options for the investors. First one is when you have got the EL deed executed, but you have not commenced the exploration obligations. So you can transfer your exploration license to a different entity. But that different entity should also be an Indian company or an Indian entity and should have a net worth of 25 crore rupees. Second stage is when you have completed the exploration obligation, the GR is ready. Now you transfer your rights to get money from the state government to a different entity in lieu of a financial transaction with that different entity. So this is your second option to exit from the transaction. Third thing is now the state government has auctioned the block and the entity which has won the block in the ML auction has started the mining operation. So one option is you did get money from them for the 50-year period. Another option is that rather than getting some money every month for 50 years, you take a lump sum one-time fee from the ML lessee and exit the process. So these are some of the exit options at different stage of the value chain, which will give you enough flexibility to take your decision as per your investment horizon. So once you have submitted the GRs to the state government or central government, depending on the nature of mineral, the government will take up auction process of ML of these mineral blocks. And once the government has chosen a preferred bidder for the ML blocks, the preferred bidder would get all the approvals, clearances, and start their mining operations. Next slide, please. Now, payment to the EL holders, because initially you invested money in exploration. Now is the time to recover that money. So there are multiple modes by which you can recover your money and make profit on it. First of all is the blocks which you had submitted, the geological reports, they have been successfully auctioned by the state or central government as the case may be. Now one option is you keep receiving the income share because the mining lease in India is for 50 years and the payment is on monthly basis. So you'll have 600 installments for which you will get some money for 600 months. Second option is you go for a one-time lump sum payment. Second thing is suppose the state government was not able to auction the block within a period of 12 months. Then to safeguard the interest of the EL lessee, a provision has been kept that you will get 1% of the exploration expenditure incurred by you or rupees 10 lakh per month till the time the block is auctioned at least 2 times by the state or the central government. Suppose the block has started its operations and during the course of operations, for whatever reason, the lease is terminated by the central government or state government. In that case, the EL holder will get a right, first right of refusal to be the mining lessee of this block and start the mining operations on their own for the residual lease period. In case they are not interested to the mining, then the block will be put up for auction once more. Next slide, please. So this is a cash flow timeline for you, that what are the parts where you are investing money, which is a cash outflow, and when you are recouping the money. So the color which is pink or red, that is the time when your outflow is happening, and the color green is when your inflow starts. So first of all, I've taken an example that we are in the month of April, and suppose the auction process comes to an end in April and you are declared as a preferred bidder. So first of all, you will be issued the LOI within a month. In the month of May 2025, you received the LOI. You took 1 year to execute the lease deed. So now in May 2026, you are the leaseholder of EL. Now, law gives you 3 years to surrender 75% of area, but we believe due to expeditious action by you on the ground, within 2 years you will surrender 75% of the area, and you had 5 years to complete the exploration obligation. So from May 2026, when you started exploration, May 31 is the time when you completed the exploration obligation. If somebody does it even earlier than that, that is good, but 5 years is the time period you are getting by law. Now, state government put up this block which has been prepared by you for auction for ML, and a winner has been chosen in the month of March 32 when the preferred bidder for this block has been identified. Now in ML auction, the preferred bidder pays upfront payment to the state government in 3 installments. you will be beneficiary of each of those installments to the tune of 20%. So in ML, the lessee gets maximum period of 3 years to commence the operations of the mining. So in 32, when the LOI was handed over, he took 3 years, which is March 35, to execute the lease deed of mining lease. So mining lease deed got executed in 35. So for the next 50 years, from March 35 to March 85, or whenever the mineral exhausts, you will be getting some income from the operations of the mining operations for the next 50 years. Next slide, please. So these are the timelines of the auction process. These are also mentioned in the booklet which is given to you. Otherwise, you can click a picture of this. Please note that these timelines at time, they change on the request of bidders if they want more time for due diligence. So while these timelines at the moment are important, but you kindly visit the website of MSTC from time to time to see if any revised timeline schedule has been uploaded on the website. The corrigendum and addendum tab is the place. If any revised timelines are published, they'll be uploaded there. So please be mindful of the fact that do not wait for the last date to purchase the tender or submit your bid, because any last moment hiccup can jeopardize your participation. So please purchase the tender and submit your bid with sufficient time cushion for any last minute hassles. So with that, I complete my presentation. In case anyone has any doubt, I'll be happy to answer. Further, we have also mentioned the email IDs and contact numbers of our team members in the booklet that is given to you. Those numbers and email IDs are accessible all point of time. After this meeting also, should you have any doubts, please drop us an email or give us a call on the numbers mentioned to clarify your doubts. Yeah. Sir, the booklet, sir, this one. Towards the end, sir. Okay. Sir, end. So, this booklet is in the handbag which has been given to you. In case you have not received a handbag, please collect it from the reception. Towards the end of this booklet, there is this contact details. It has details of the designated officer, Farida ma'am, and officials of Ministry of Mine. It also has connect details of 2 officials of SBI Capital to clear your doubts pertaining to the auction process. It also has connect details of MSTC, which is the auction platform holder. So all stakeholders ke numbers are mentioned on this particular page. I'll again highlight this. Please refer to this page for the connect details of any one of us to reach out to us. Time. Also, the timeline is also mentioned. So this booklet is your go-to book. It also has details of all the 13 blocks, where are they located. It also has the timeline which are published on that particular slide. So connect details, timelines, everything is in that book. So please refer to it for any further details.
Can I bring my question up?
Please.
So this is with regards to a foreign company's participation, and adding on to the coherent questions raised by Honorable Secretary. Foreign company who's possibly listed in a reputed stock market, who wants to now participate in the exploration block process. We go through an easy process of registering with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which I believe is a very easy process. But I have a limitation of not being able to provide my balance sheet of a foreign company. So that limits me to participate this unless I partner with a local Indian company. But the Indian company can only partner with me after they've been issued the letter of award by way of shares or a consortium agreement. So this limits a foreign company's participation from stage 1. Is that right?
So one thing I'll add is, sir, when you're incorporating an Indian company, right, if you pull in a capital of 3 million USD at the time of incorporation of that company, that would be the seed capital, the paid up capital of the company. In that case, that company which you incorporated will be eligible to bid.
And if I don't win the bid, can I refund that very easily?
Yeah,
through
so
the RBI?
Yeah, we are not using your net worth for any purpose. We are just referring it to see whether you're eligible or not. It is not a payment that
I
you're
know, but
making.
can I send it back?
The company is hardly 1 week or 10 days old.
Yeah.
And so you will see only the bank.
So, sir, the thing is, in the net worth, we take up the paid up capital and free reserves. So, when a company is being established, they can put up the 3 crore, 25 crore, 3 million USD in the paid up capital of the company, because the company won't have any operations. So, free reserves to honge nahi.
That is fine.
Yeah.
What document will you see?
The balance sheet of the company
No,
of the
balance sheet, it has not completed 1 year. No?
हाँ तो preceding year. So इस NIT में only that company can
That
participate.
doesn't help. No, it
So
doesn't
this
help.
is a limitation for a foreign
At the-
company.
yes,
So it's
exactly.
it's not
No,
an
no, no.
international bid.
No, no, yeah, no. We will try to do something. In fact, this issue had come up around week, 10 days back. So let's see if before the pre-bid conference we are able to do something.
Thank you.
What you can do is, some of the questions that are coming up today can be noted as early pre-bid questions. Your pre-bid is on 22nd, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can add this as an early pre-bid question, and we'll start working on how to tackle these questions.
Can we request them to email these questions to us?
No, first you note down, no? Whatever
ठीक
is said in front of you, you can note down.
And another request is, you had a very sort of intelligible presentation. Could that be shared with us? Because
We'll
it
be
gave every
uploading.
step.
Can you put these presentations on the MSTC website also?
Both places.
MSTC and our website.
In the run-up to the execution of exploration license, you made mention of the preferred bidder to obtain clearances. Now, what all these clearances would be?
So, sir, whenever you go for example, composite license, so these clearances per.
EL का
हाँ नहीं मैं वही बता रहा हूँ सर जैसे when you go for a composite license because they've participated in CL before, so you take approvals for the exploration part of it, not the mining part, right? So same thing applies here in EL also, that you will be taking approvals and clearances pertaining to the exploration obligations, and depending whether your block is in forest area, so you'll have to take FC, EC, other clearances depending where your block is located, sir.
No, so EC is not required at this stage.
So we have also given a list of indicative.
I'll just say EC is not required, and as far as forest clearance is also there, that is required when you have more than 25 boreholes. So when you are applying, I think in this initial scheme of prospecting, probably those boreholes will also be not there.
No, but then when you are
No, I
going
know
up
it
to
is standard
G2,
clause. It is written. You will require clearances, but that will not be necessary.
because see, we have one of the examples wherein what happened was that the area under forest was almost 4.5 square kilometers. Now, when we submitted our prospecting scheme, the government insisted that you stick to that G2 level exploration stage, which is 400 by 400. So when it comes to 400 by 400 grid, the number of boreholes go up, beyond 25. So in that case, we are forced to take the forest clearance also. And one of the things which I also wanted to ask you was whether in this tender document, you will submit the survey number list or the schedule, the Khasra schedule that we call. Because, post execution of this CL in one of the cases, when we went for registration of the executed CL document or the CL deed, the government insisted that you bring the survey number list. Only then will we be able to do this.
So the Khasra or survey details are not uploaded because these are very large areas, and as per law, this is not mandated. So the Khasra survey details are not uploaded either in free or paid domain.
Okay.
But on land scheduling, it's a very important issue. Land scheduling, we are seeing problems in the current regime of auction, where we do CLML block auction. So most of the times you'll find that whatever report, geological memorandum or geological report that is uploaded at the time of auction, the land schedule has a variation in what is actually in the field. So this is an issue that is currently going on in at least 10-15% of the cases. we have auctioned, and we are hand-holding the bidders, and we are pushing the state forest departments and the revenue departments to resolve those land issues quickly. So even in this new regime of exploration license, once you earmark the exact area where you say that the mineral is available, then we'll help you all along on the land scheduling.
Because
It's a coordination issue. Land scheduling is a coordination issue as to what the revenue department is saying about the khasra, what the forest is saying about forest land. We just have to make sure that they speak the same language. We are doing it currently, and we'll do it in this regime also.
Because what will happen is that since the area is large, 200 square kilometers is the area, and finally we relinquish 75% of it. So even for that 25% of that area, the land schedule would be heavy. Heavy means
Correct. What
number
I'm
of-
saying is, once you reach the 25%, that's when we will all come in and we'll help you with the land scheduling.
Prior to that, at the time of registration of this exploration license, the state government should not ask for the khasra details.
No, that will take care. That-
Yeah.
It
because
should not
we
ask.
can't expect for 200 square kilometer khasra details. Okay.
So if that can be, incorporated
Yeah, we'll do
in
that.
somewhere in the rules. Yeah. Thank you.
Mike,
During prospecting scheme, I have submitted 25 boreholes and the coordinate already given. But when we start the work in G4 level, exploration is started, and I planned this borehole instead of this place. Now we will put this borehole in that place. Now forest department is objecting, you have planned the borehole here, why you are putting the borehole in this place? That is the main problem we are facing actually, sir.
No, I think this forest problem, basically recently one more clarification has come. I think things will become much easier now. Okay.
Oh,
I'll share with you.
ठीक है, sir. Thank you.
Any other queries? Sir, can you please give the mic?
Sir, good morning. This is Mr. Vikram, Director Technology from Critical Mineral Trackers, NPEA, Notified Private Exploration Agency. Sir, actually this company started in 23 December, and we have one financial year net worth about 3.6 crores. But it is mentioned as 25 crores. Is there any mechanism for this first tranche or anything possible for next tranche, as we are technically qualified to take up, and we are ready to go with joint venture with other company? If this is the case, are we eligible for this kind of support?
through joint venture, you will be eligible.
Yes, sir.
You look in this room during the lunch break.
Yes, sir.
There are a lot of people with very fat pockets here.
Yes, yes.
Catch them during
Yes.
the lunch.
Sure.
Oh, there's
Thank
one
you, sir.
behind.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Ji.
So suppose we have acquired the EL license and the forest cover only 20% of the complete area. So the parallelly हम उसका later on ले सकते हैं क्या approval forest का?
नहीं, मैं जो आपको बोल रहा हूँ ये क्या है कि इनका स्टैंडर्ड उसमें टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन है, बिफोर ईएल इज साइन आपको क्लियरेंसेस लेना है.
Okay.
लेकिन जो ईएल है, ईएल में बेसिकली फर्स्ट 2-3 सेट्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज, unless you are able to identify where you have to do borehole drilling, you cannot give number of boreholes etc.
In case example during the prospecting.
No, no, सुनिए एक मिनट. So for getting the EL license, basically you do things like surveys etc. and you get the EL license. Then when those initial surveys are complete, then you submit further next phase for drilling, okay, boreholes. So that will sort out the problem.
Okay. And the second issue is that right now the IBM में हमको registration करके सारा detail entry करना होता है.
जी.
तो land का जो detail है वो वहाँ पर mandatory कर रखा है.
ना वो CL EL ML में रहेगा, लेकिन इसमें नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है.
Okay. But CL में भी issue है सर. CL अगर जो आ रही है 20 square
ना
kilometer की
CL
जो आ
में
रही
भी
है.
वो will sort out the issue IBM को बोल के. Basically the exact details which you need in a mining lease should not be asked in the CL. Okay.
Okay. And one more, suppose prospecting में सारे drill hole बाहर की तरफ भी plan किए हैं. After sir, प्रोस्पेक्टिंग के दौरान सारे प्लान रिलोल फॉरेस्ट से बाहर की तरफ प्लान किए गए हैं, तो फॉरेस्ट हमको नॉन डिस्ट्रक्टिव वर्क की एनओसी जल्दी दे दे, इस तरीके से कोई क्लोज हो जाए उसमें। हम ड्रिलिंग के लिए भी फॉरेस्ट में नहीं जा रहे हैं, सिर्फ ओनली सर्वे के लिए जाएंगे, जो जियोफिजिकल और जियोकेमिकल सर्वे होंगे, तो हमको नॉन डिस्ट्रक्टिव वर्क की एनओसी फास्ट ट्रैक पे
ना अभी वो क्लियरफाई हो गया है, वो आपको अभी जो ये जिसमें बोरोल नहीं है, सिर्फ सैम्पलिंग है।
भाई ऐसा है कि वंस यू बिड फॉर एन एक्सप्लोरेशन लाइसेंस and you come out as a successful bidder, then you will be the biggest VIP for the Ministry of Mines. We will make sure that you will get all clearances in time. Okay?
One more question, sir. My name is Rajil. I am representing Hindustan Zinc Vedanta here. My question is on cash outflow. Like before starting the production, what is the percentage an EL holder can get? Because you have not given the percentage. For example, ML holder who is going for ML, they are submitting, certain amount before starting the production. So what would be the percentage an EL holder can get? This is my question.
So before commencing the mining operations, ML lessee will basically pay the upfront payment to the state government, right? Upfront payment is 0.5% of VER, right? So whatever you had quoted in the reverse auction to win the block, in the example I showed, we took 20% was quoted to win the block. It could be any different number also, but 0.5% of VR which is paid by the ML lessee to state government, uska 20% is what you will get as your upfront payment before the mining operations have commenced.
Thank you.
Sir, if I'm a foreign company and I establish a wholly owned subsidiary in India and register it, is that company eligible to participate in this bidding process?
Like this question was discussed. This question was raised by me and then raised by him. So what it stands, there's no clear answer as of now. If you are a foreign company and you set up an Indian subsidiary tomorrow, and which has a net worth of 25 million, right? No, 25 crore, 3 million, let's say. 3 million US dollar. Then you should be eligible in, general, whatever these papers are saying, you should be eligible. But the catch is that you should have a balance sheet, a statement of your company, which shows that you have 3 million net worth. So if you incorporate it tomorrow, then you don't have a balance sheet because you need 1 year for a balance sheet to happen. So this is a question that is, we want you to come if you incorporate tomorrow. We want a foreign company which incorporates a 100% subsidiary tomorrow, this week, to come and participate in this bidding. But as of now, there's some clarity that is required. So that's why I said that we will note this question as a pre-bid question number 1, and we'll try to answer during the pre-bid conference.
No, I'll clarify, sir. Issue is as a subsidiary of foreign company you are allowed. Only thing is proof of net worth. So as of today, it is last year's balance sheet. So can we come up with another proof? That is the issue. We'll solve in next 1 or 2 weeks. Okay. Maybe it is the bank statement you show and you keep it till your bidding process is over. Okay. That we'll try.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for simplifying the auction process for all potential bidders. To ensure a smooth and efficient bidding experience, the e-auction process is conducted through the MSTC website, which provide real-time bidding, secure transaction and transparencies. To give us an overview of the digital infrastructure, may I now invite Shri Shetu D. Sharma, Senior Manager MSTC, to present on e-auction process.
Honorable Secretary, sir, Honorable AS, sir, JS ma'am, dignitaries in the hall, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Setu Dutt Sharma from MSTC. I'll walk you through the auction platform. This is the homepage of the exploration license auction platform. The page is segregated in the three sections. The left-hand panel represents the free section as it's been told by SBI caps and presentations before it. The documentation consists of two parts, free documents and paid documents. The free documents are available on the homepage itself. You have to click on the exploration license link. A drop-down will open up, it will display ELGOI. You can click on ELGOI and then proceed to download all the free documents. On the right-hand section, there is a section for registration and logging in as the bidder. Upon clicking in on the registration link, users will be navigated to the registration page. You have to scroll down to, after reading the general terms conditions, scroll down, click on register as a bidder. A KYC form will be displayed wherein you will have to submit your information. And a system generated email will be sent to you informing about the documents, the process further. You'll need to have a class 3 digital signature, signing and encryption type in order to log in. Once you have registered and your login has been activated, you will be able to log in. You have to feed in your user ID, password, select bidder radio button. From this drop down of select state, you have to select ELGOI and click on the login button. System will seek your digital signature information for the first time. After selecting your digital signature, system will sync that said digital signature to your user ID. And after this, any subsequent login will have two-factor authentication, your user ID and password, and the digital signature. Once you have logged in, this is the home page and other options available to you. One of the key options is e-payment. This is the process through which you will be making the payment to download, to purchase, and then download the paid documents. Upon clicking on the e-payment link, system will allow you to select the block for which you want to make the payment, enter the amount, and then click on RTGS NEFT. Proceed to enter the bank information from which you'll be remitting that said money. Upon clicking print, system will allow you to generate a challan. Through this challan, you'll be remitting the money to MSTC's account. It is an automated process from there on. Once the amount is received in MSTC server, system will automatically authenticate and authorize you to download the paid documents. Once you've downloaded the documents and the day of the stage 1 auction arrives, you have to go to view live or forthcoming auctions link to proceed for file documents upload and bid submission. Upon clicking on the view live button, these three options will be given to you: stage 1 bid submission, stage 2 and reverse auction. You will click on stage 1 bid submission. Upon clicking on the stage 1 bid submission, system will again give you three options: technical cum IPO submissions, upload documents, and attach documents. Now, upload documents is an e-library functionality. In order to save time in the crucial minutes, system allows you to upload your necessary documents before the commencement of the tender stage. So first thing you'll do is click on upload documents, browse and upload the documents you will want to participate. So this is the upload document screen. Once you have uploaded the documents and now tender is in currency, so tender is active, you'll go to the attach document button and then attach those documents to the said tender by clicking on attach. Once you have clicked on attach documents, it would change and display as detach. In case you have uploaded a wrong document, you want to resubmit, reattach the document, so you can do that. Once you have attached the documents to the tender, you then proceed to the bid floor by clicking the technical and IPO submission, the first button you click, and you'll navigate it to the bid floor. This is the bid floor screen. The bid floor is segregated in two parts. First part is the technical cover, and the second part is the IPO. In the technical cover, it has to be done sequentially. You'll first submit the technical bid and then the price bid. Upon clicking the technical bid, system will display you standard terms conditions, which you have to either agree or submit a remark to. On submitting save, system will seek your digital signature. You have to save the technical bid using your digital signature. This is a pop-up of the digital signature. Once you have submitted the technical bids, the status would change, and then system will allow you to submit the initial price offer. So this is the initial price offer screen. A check has been placed wherein you cannot quote greater than the ceiling price as mentioned in the tender document and also briefed by SBI in their presentation. So this is an error displaying that you cannot quote above the ceiling price. You can then enter your percentage valid bid and make final submission. Again, system will display you, these are the documents that you have attached to the bid, and seek your digital signature. Once you have selected your digital signature, bid will get submitted. System will then give you two options, display that the bid has been submitted in green color. A mail will also get triggered to you, informing you that your bid has been submitted. And also along with it, system will give you withdraw and delete bid, two options. In order to revise, in case you want to revise your bid, you can click on delete bid and initiate the process again. You can submit your technical bid and the price bid again. Withdraw bid is you're withdrawing from the tender, so you be very cautious of what options you are choosing. The second stage is the reverse auction stage. Between the first stage and the second stage, there will be a technical evaluation which will be done by the transaction advisor and the ministry. And then the second stage will initiate. In order to participate, you will again click on view live auction and then click on reverse auction, the third option. This is the typical price bid stage, the reverse auction stage. System will display you the total duration of the auction in the last 8 minutes. The screen would also start displaying the number of minutes left in the auction. There is a check in the system wherein you will not be allowed to quote greater than the last bid or the starting of the reverse auction stage. There is another check which will not allow you to make bid less than 0. Bidding would be in the percentage. There is a component of auto extension whereby submitting your bid, auction will get extended by 8 minutes in the last 8 minutes of the auction. You can check the same through bid history. There is a button called bid history in the rightmost corner and the L1 check. By clicking on bid history, system will display you the bid submitted in the chronological order. As you can see, the last bid was made at 16:44. The auction got extended by 8 minutes. So every time a valid bid is received, system will extend the auction by 8 minutes, giving everyone a fair chance to participate. Whether or not the bid belongs to you, you can click on the L1 check on the bid floor and check whether the bid belongs to you or to somebody else. Okay. Thank you. My contact details are also in the booklet. My name is Setudat Sharma, and you can feel free to call me at 7878-055-855. Any questions for me?
If no one has a question, then I have a question.
Sir.
Whatever you showed here in the presentation, is there a tutorial on this?
Yes, sir.
Where?
On our portal.
On your website?
Yeah.
Is there a video tutorial on this?
It's a PDF file, sir.
No, not PDF, video tutorial.
We'll upload, sir.
Prepare a video tutorial on how to use your website, how to click, with a good commentary on the background, and put it up on your website.
Definitely, sir.
Before the pre-bid meeting.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for explaining the digital auction mechanism. Now, the government is committed to incentivizing mineral exploration. To support EL holders, the National Mineral Exploration Trust has introduced a scheme for partial reimbursement of exploration expenses, encouraging greater participation in exploration regime. To provide more detail, may I now invite Shri Sivabrata Das, Senior Geologist, NMET, to present an overview of this financial incentivized scheme.
Very good afternoon, respected Secretary Sir, Additional Secretary Sir, JS Ma'am, and good afternoon to ladies and gentlemen. Myself, Sevabrata Das, Senior Geologist from National Mineral Exploration Trust, and I will be presenting on the scheme for partial reimbursement of exploration expenses for the holders of exploration licenses. This will emphasize on innovation that suggests a forward-thinking approach to mineral exploration, which is crucial for attracting investment and enhancing operational efficiency in the sector. So the mission outlined here focuses on unlocking India's untapped mineral resources, particularly critical and deep-seated minerals, by boosting investor confidence.
Yeah, all this has been said since morning. Go directly to how much money you are giving.
Okay, so let's moving to the main part, that is partial reimbursement scheme. That is, first, the objective of this scheme is to mitigate the risk associated with mineral exploration by offering partial reimbursement of expenses capped at 20 crores. The financial support is specifically available to the holders of exploration licenses. And so there are some conditions. That first, the condition is the proposal should be submitted within the 6 months after having the exploration license. And then since this is a very risk management mitigation scheme, so if the EL holder can auction the block, then the EL holder has to pay back the money within the 10 years of commencement of production and dispatch of minerals and receipt of share in auction premium. So this is the main slide where we can see the scale of reimbursement. I will briefly explain the reimbursement norms under various activities following the schedule of charges of NMET. The reimbursement will be up to 50% of the direct expenses with a maximum ceiling in every components. That is, in a geological mapping and sampling, maximum ceiling is rupees 1.5 crores. Similarly, for geophysical survey, maximum limit is rupees 3 crore. And in exploratory drilling, considering the intensive cost involved, a higher rate of reimbursement has been given, that is up to rupees 10 crore. And apart from that, for chemical, petrological analysis, research, collaboration, and logistic and administrative, we are providing reimbursement of rupees 2.5 crores, 1.5 crores, and 1.5 crores respectively. Apart from that, we have a special incentive for auction that if a G2 level block is handed over to the government within 3 years and is successfully auctioned, then the reimbursement rate will be increased up to 60% and the maximum ceiling will raise up to rupees 24 crores. So there are certain procedures, that is the submission of proposal, evaluation and approval, that the EL holder must submit a detailed project proposal as prescribed in a prescribed format which is given in the scheme. And it will be evaluated by the technical cum cost committee of NMET, and based on the recommendation, the executive committee of NMET will approve the proposal, and then NMET will issue a sanction order, and the entire process will be completed within a 2 months' time. Coming to the last part of the presentation, so there are some additional conditions, that is NMET will monitor the project by engaging central agencies, and the exploration license holders has to share all the exploration data to state DGMs, IBM and GSI. And apart from that, the recovered drill cores will be submitted to the GSI core library for future references. And apart from that, there is an option to provide a one-time mobilization advance against submission of bank guarantee. And apart from that, the reimbursement shall be made on submission of half-yearly expenditure bills, which should be duly certified by a chartered accountant, and bills should be accompanied with an interim report. The reimbursement will not be more than 50% of the expenditure incurred, and the reimbursement will be settled through a public fund management system in a dedicated bank account of the EL holder. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you all for your time and attention. anybody has any question, then I will be happy to answer. Yeah.
माइक दीजिए ना पीछे.
Thank you, sir. Is it required to be NPA to get all these reimbursement?
No, not at all.
Okay, thank you.
Even Hindustan Zinc can get it,
Thank you so much, sir.
though you don't need it.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And these are
So
our contact
this,
details are there.
ठीक है. You have
Thank
your-
you.
Now the house is open for any discussion if you have. To provide us with a strategic perspective on India's mining reforms and the role of exploration license in unlocking the mineral potential, it is my privilege to invite Shri V.L. Kantha Rao, Secretary, Ministry of Mines, to deliver the gathering.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank about 40 companies which are both private and public and foreign and state government and so on and so forth who have come to understand the concept of exploration license. This is a new regime and this has been taken up by the government through an amendment in the Act in 2023, but we have taken up more than a year to roll this out. That's because we wanted to make sure that the industry's aspirations and their requirements are met. One example is what we have just presented in the end, that a lot of industry feedback came that the risk is a bit too high. Though we said that it is a business risk because if it is successful, then you make a lot of money. You sit at home and earn money for the next 50 years if whatever you do comes out successful. But people said that no, if we do not find any mineral there, then it's a risk. So we have taken 50% of the risk on ourselves. So this scheme to fund the cost of exploration in EL is a scheme that we brought out of the National Mineral Exploration Trust, which is a money that gets accumulated through a small fee paid by the mining companies for mining the major minerals which are currently going on in about 1,200 mines. All those people are contributing to take exploration forward. So we use that money in taking up exploration projects across the country through private companies and through government agencies and through GSI and so on and so forth. But this idea of doing exploration through a private company where the private company can earn profit out of it. Right now, we give exploration projects to, like the person who stood in between, Critical Mineral Tracker is an private exploration agency, which takes money from us, does exploration and gives the report back to us. Here we are saying that, okay, don't take money from us, you do exploration, you create a report, and if that report is successfully auctioned, then the mining company which does the mining will give you money much more than what government would have paid for doing that exploration project. So it's a windfall profit. The concept of an exploration company going and cracking some code somewhere and trying to unearth a lot of mineral ore and then making windfall profit. This concept is there in other countries, in Western countries, and this is a concept that we try to bring in here by saying that, okay, you go spend your money, we give you some area with some basic data, with some basic guesswork and estimate that such and such a mineral is available there. You go spend your money, do exploration, and if you are successful, then you make windfall profit. You're going to get a certain percentage of royalty for 50 years. The state government, there are 5-6 state governments here who are sitting, they have agreed to part with a certain portion, let's say 10% of the royalty that they would earn on every truck, that they have agreed to part with and give to you, because you as an exploration agency could explore and find out that gold is available, copper is available, or diamond is available at certain place. So you have done all the hard work of exploration. So this is a scheme where hard work that you do for exploration is rewarded. Having said that, exploration is a very difficult work. It is super hard work, it is not easy work. We have 8,000 people working for us in the Geological Survey of India, and they have been working for the last 175 years. And they have not been able to crack many codes, they have not been able to find big, deposits of gold or diamond or silver or anything like that. In the last few decades, there have been many discoveries in the past, but in the last few decades, we haven't had a major discovery. So this is an opportunity for the private sector to get into this field and make a major discovery and make money out of it. For that, you may need a lot of collaboration, a lot of technical support and help from those countries where they do much more exploration than the level at which we are doing. So therefore, I suggest to these all the companies present here that you definitely bid for this, but at the same time look for a technical partnership, look for the usual regular drilling mission going there and drilling something and trying to see what is there in the soil, chemical analysis of the soil. All this is very, very basic, and a lot of that has already been done by the GSI, and all those reports are available. You can go now, sit on NGDR portal, click on some of these areas that I mentioned, and you will find that a lot of analysis of that area, of that soil, of the rock, of what is below the earth is already done. But you need to do much more. You need to have very good technical tools. What those tools are there available all over the world, you need to invest in those tools. And we are saying that you invest, you put some money, let's say you put $5 million US, we will fund $2.5 million US as a loan to you. So you spend $2.5 million, and I spend, the government gives you $2.5 million, $5 million US, you do an exploration project, and if the project is successful, you return my $2.5 million back to the government and you make money. If it is not successful, your $2.5 million is gone and my $2.5 million is gone. So it is a 50% risk shared by the government. I don't think I can think of any scheme in Government of India where this kind of risk sharing is happening. But the need of the hour is that the country requires a lot of critical minerals and a lot of deep-seated minerals, and this is one way of finding them through the efficiency of companies, through the efficiency of the corporate world as compared to a departmental geological survey organization. So that's the basic concept, and I'm sure a lot of people will be interested, even though exploration and geological work and mining is not the regular work of a company. But any company which has a net worth of 25 crore can participate and then look for partnerships and try to make profit out of this. So it is a good open scheme, and we will make sure that all those people who are successfully proven as bidders, have been certified as bidders in this auction process, will be hand-holded. We are doing that for the regular auctions of EL and mining lease as well, regular auction of CL and mining lease as well. We have about 400 successful bidders with whom through a PMU set up in the ministry and through the state governments, we handhold them, we try to help them at every stage. In this case also, we will have a separate PMU kind of a setup in the ministry, which will handhold. This will be hardly 10-12 people who will be the EL holders. We will handhold them. We will ensure that they will get approvals in time, because these are very important minerals. These are critical minerals which are badly required, and we have to ensure that these mines come up quickly. So with this background, today's meeting is only to tell you that the government is absolutely serious about this particular auction, and on a daily basis we will be available for any queries and questions. We also have a pre-bid meeting coming up next week, which will have more pointed questions, I'm sure. We will resolve every possible problem that you may have prior to bidding. So I request and I would like to meet some of the companies over the lunch break on a one-to-one to request some of the public companies and private companies who have not yet gone into this field to come to the exploration license regime. So with this, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in the bidding process whenever you participate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight into the exploration license framework and for highlighting how this initiative will contribute to Atmanirbhar Bharat in mineral resources. As we conclude this landmark workshop and roadshow, I take this opportunity to invite Shri Manish Kumar, Deputy Secretary, Ministry of Mines, to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks.
Thank you, Atif. Respected Secretary, sir, Additional Secretary, sir, Joint Secretary, ma'am, esteemed dignitaries, industry leaders, exploration and mining professionals, and all distinguished guests. It is my privilege to extend my heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of Ministry to all the people at the end of the session, which has been very interactive and fruitful, which came up with a very key queries that has been addressed by our chairs and co-chairs and also our experts. This event, I am hopeful that this will be instrumental in bringing the key stakeholders from the mining exploration system to discuss potential of India's mineral resources and also the opportunities which lies in our country under this new exploration license regime. First and foremost, I express my deep gratitude to the chair and co-chair of this event, Secretary Sri Kanta Rao sir and Additional Secretary Sri Sanjay Lohia sir. Both of them have been, right from the beginning, they have been completely involved themselves in supplementing the queries and also the bringing out the understanding on the each and aspect of the exploration license regime. I will also like to extend the appreciation to Joint Secretary ma'am, who has been instrumental in organizing this event in a very short notice and also providing the opportunity to all the people from different aspects of the mining and exploration areas at one place. My deep gratitude also goes to the presenters, right from our partners and also from the experts from the GSI who have given a rough overview and brief about the various blocks which we are going to put up for auction. Also, the various aspect and nitty-gritty of the rules of the exploration license that provides and what is the benefit which lies with the bidders and at which stage they are going to accrue the benefits. I would also like to acknowledge that thank all the representatives from public sector, particularly the senior executive who have came here, from the private companies, also from the newly notified exploration agencies, and I expect that you will actively participate in the exploration license which has been put up for auction, because this is a very first tranche of auction and we have lots of hopes pinning on your participation. So that will define the success of this regime, and also the vision which has been nicely explained in recently in the just previous talk by Secretary Sir. Lastly, my sincere thanks to all the organizing and support staff, organizing team. As we move forward, I again at the end encourage all the stakeholders to actively participate in this auction process and just together try to make it a success. And thank you all once again. Thank you so much. All the guests are requested that lunch has been arranged just left towards your where you are sitting area, just outside this in a small lawn. You are requested to join the lunch there. You can bring take a seat, bring the food and have it here also. So, and as Sir told, anybody who are willing to interact, Sir, or both chairs and co-chairs and senior officers are available for interaction. So, thank you. Please join for the lunch.